Bad boys. Why do women get attracted to bad boys? What's the concept of the alpha male? A red pill movement. Why do so many women get hurt? Why do they change their fitra and they start misbehaving themselves? And, how does the feminist movement affect all this? Inshallah, we're going to find out in this amazing episode. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu rasulillah. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Brothers and sisters, today is not the main discussion about this topic. However, I wanted to do a little preview video, what I'm going to talk about in a live broadcast so that you, brothers and sisters, can be there with me and you can ask questions, we can interact. But the question is something that's kind of being built on an article that I've posted recently about why women choose bad boys. Why do they like the bad guys? Why are they attracted to them? Why do they keep going back to the same type of guy even though they get hurt by them? So a woman will get into a relationship with the so-called alpha male, and this guy is a bad guy. And then, she gets out of it and she knows exactly that she suffered, and yet then she falls back into the same type of men. So we're going to look at a few different points, very important points. And there's a lot to be talked about. And that's why I want to do a live broadcast, inshallah. And that's going to be announced in the description of this video. Please read the description of the video. Please click the links, inshallah, and support this da'wah, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. But what are some of the things that we're going to talk about in this live broadcast? So first and foremost, why do good girls like bad boys? And what's this confusion with this alpha phenomenon? Like, are women actually attracted to bad guys? And when I mean bad boys, I mean guys who will treat them badly. But because they're macho and they talk loud and they're confident, women fall for them. Is there some way that they can avoid this? Because it seems that every time they get hurt because there's a lot of baggage that comes with that type of relationship. Yet again, sisters find themselves attracting the same type of men over and over and over again. Then, of course, some of them just had enough and then they say, you know what? I'm going to rebel. I'm going to stop being a good girl. I'm going to be a bad girl. We see this quite often in the non-Muslim society. So we're going to state the problem. We're going to look at why are women doing this, and what happened. What's the change? What are the problems that come out of this, and how do we deal with it? Then we're going to talk about a little bit about the alpha, the animal kingdom, to understand what's this whole alpha thing and how does it have to do with our animal instincts. Okay. And yes, indeed, men and women without revelation, without deen, could behave like animals. And we're going to link that to the animal kingdom to understand how does it work, what's the hierarchy of the alpha and the beta, and so on. We're going to talk about the confusion of women. I call it the confusion of the modern day woman in general, not just the Muslim woman, but women in general. They're confused because yes, they're attracted to something in these males and there's something positive there that they're attracted to, yet they don't know what comes with it. All right. Then we're going to talk about why women are not attracted to weak men, yet why do they still choose them sometimes and pretty much choose to live unhappily, but they choose weaker guys. And we're going to talk how that's linked to the fact that they've been hurt in the past. And we're going to talk also about why men are weak. So, and why the gene pool is so small right now. So women are attracted to strong guys and so-called alpha male, but there's very few of them. And sadly, it happens that a lot of them are just pricks, jerks, okay? To put it in that. Where does feminism have to come in all this? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the reactionary movement we started, which is called red pill, the red pill movement. And what's the problem with that so-called alpha male model that they offer, all right? And then we're going to also go back to the Muslim alpha male model and why the word Muslim here is highlighted. Why is it important to understand? How do we understand what masculinity is from the Muslim perspective? And what are the standards for that? Who do we look at to understand that and to be able to learn from? All right? Because indeed, the alpha men is very important. And we're going to talk about that. What does it mean? It doesn't mean what these guys are saying. It doesn't mean that toxic, jerk type of guy that a lot of these women are suffering from. But it also doesn't mean that weak, type of men that everyone steps on, okay? Because that's also a huge phenomenon that we're going to talk about. There are a lot of men who have bounced from one side to the other. And again, it's because of knee-jerk reaction movements. And we're going to talk about all of these, and you're going to be able to ask me questions, and we're going to provide evidence, and we're going to share experiences, inshallah, and try to understand the psychology of the dominant Muslim alpha male. And why is it important? What are the good characteristics, and what should we stay away from, and why we have to be careful, and how not to mix the philosophies of the non-Muslims with the Muslims, and so on. And where does tarbiyah come in here? And why has it become so important these days? Why is it talked about so much? Why are the non-Muslims gaining so much ground with this? And how are they seeking revenge on women and on feminist movement? And how, these movements are bouncing off each other and feeding into this negative cycle of just kind of reinforcing each other's misunderstandings and misconceptions. And what happens is, actually, in the middle of all this, people get hurt because they get the wrong advice from the wrong people. And they feel empowered because their whole lives they've lived as weak men, for example, specifically men. And now all of a sudden something makes sense. Some things make sense. And because they're confused and they don't have a clear picture based on revelation, Quran and Sunnah, they make huge mistakes. And in doing so, they hurt a lot of people. And women, reactionary again, will also change their fitrah and start messing around and acting about and changing the way they feel and, feeding into feminist movements, a'udhu billahi, lesbianism and all kinds of stuff because they're tired of being hurt. Okay, so we're going to see how the whole dynamics of this phenomenon that we're dealing with today in the 21st century. So much has been written about it. There's just so many people promoting this and marketing this and talking about this. Yet I feel that there's a huge confusion. So let us call it the bad boys, good girls, alpha phenomenon confusion. And of course, we're going to talk about bad girls as well. Girls don't get away with it. But inshallah, I hope you join me in this amazing live broadcast. Again, check the description, click on the links, see the timing, see the date, and don't miss it. Share it with everyone because trust me, you're going to have access to information that you've never had access to, and you're going to be able to talk and express your opinion. Even come on live with me and share some things vocally, and let's discuss inshallah. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.